Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul, if Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign. This is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Ace of Pentacles is a wonderful way to start because I feel like this is you understanding the next step to take in your life, okay? The Ace of Pentacles is a gift, okay? It's a moment in time where we get to do something. We get to take an action. What is the next step we're taking in our life? Are we stepping towards something? Are we stepping away from something? I feel like you have a lot of good ideas, and I feel like this is one of those good ideas that you're ready to implement. You know, you're ready to take that first step. It's a small step, but it's a seed that's going to grow into something extraordinary, okay? So I feel like this is the beginning of something very lucrative. This could be a new opportunity that's showing up for you. It could be a seed that you're planting for material growth, financial growth. Maybe it's a new health thing or fitness thing that you've been considering for a while. It's time to take that step. It's time to stop thinking about it, stop wondering about it, stop questioning it, and just do it. Yeah, let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on here. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spray. We have a Six of Pentacles. So right away, that's telling me that whatever you're planting is going to grow significantly. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Moon card. And we have, ooh, very nice. We have a Queen of Wands, and that is one of your superpower cards, Sagittarius. The Queen of Wands represents the Sagittarius energy in action. Okay, it is time for you to do this, and it is time for you to win. Okay, and especially with that Moon card showing that there's been, there's been like a lot of thought about it. Maybe it's something that you've kind of fantasized about it, or it's been in your imagination. It's been in your dreams. It's time to make it a reality now. Let's see what the next card is. The Hermit. Yep, getting busy walking that path. And it may be a long, lonely road, so to speak, but it's going to be well worth it. Now, I don't think it means actual loneliness, right? What I think it means is that you've decided on this, you're trusting your inner light, and you're following this path with no distractions. Nobody's coming in and telling you shouldn't be doing it, or you're doing it wrong, or trying to diminish your efforts. You're putting those blinders on, you're putting up the cloak of invisibility, and you're doing it. And I think that it's time to start doing it, okay? The only way that it's going to grow into a garden is if we start planting the seeds. And this is one seed that you can plant right now today. Yeah. Path of the Serpent, we have a very nice Knight of Swords. We have the Seven of Cups, but the Eight of Pentacles, and the Six. Look at that, Six of Wands. Look at that. Beautiful. Especially since we have the Seven down here, kind of showing that, we're maybe expecting it to be challenging. We're expecting to kind of come in at a disadvantage, or like we're the underdog. You're going to get the win. It's time for you to win. You have the Six and the Six. Of course, the Seven and the Seven are the things that we're worried about. We're worried that we're going to roll the dice and we're going to be lost. We're going to get stuck in the mud or the swamp, or that the challenges, we're going to be outnumbered and the challenges are going to be too great for us to overcome. Yeah, but you got this. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with tiny Baba Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments below the video. Now, as we look around the room, I see something really, really cool. The two majors that we have, right? The dark, scary forest and the one who's walking into the dark, scary forest, okay? You're taking a chance on something that's uncertain, unpromised. There are no guarantees, okay? Nor should there be, okay? You're doing something that is coming straight out of your imagination, and you're putting it into concrete form. We have fire, fire, fire. We've got earth, earth, earth. And of course we have a little bit of air and a little bit of water. So what you have mostly is fire and earth. Fire and earth is that spiritual electrical circuit of creation, of manifestation, okay? The impulse or the idea or the inspiration, and then of course the concrete materialization of that. Of course that force, that spiritual force, has to go through your human personality, your heart and your mind. I feel like your mind is on point. Your mind is sharp and you are decisive and you are leaping into this, but your heart is kind of like nervous, you know? Your heart is thinking, well, I wonder if I should be doing something else. You know, there's kind of like just this, we kind of need to shore up the heart energy a little bit, okay? But we're going to start with our Ace of Pentacles today. And this Ace of Pentacles is the new opportunity. This is the seed that's being planted. It could be money, work, health. It could be at work, at home, at school, whatever it might be. But start small. Stay consistent. Build the momentum. Okay, we don't need intensity right now. We need to start. And we need to take a step and another step and another step. Start small. Okay, you're investing your time into something new. Okay, it doesn't have to be a huge grand gesture. Just start doing the one, even if it's something simple like I'm going to start drinking water every morning when I wake up, you know, or I'm going to do 5 minutes of stretching before I go to bed. Then just start doing that. And it's going to snowball. It's going to grow. It's going to build into, because your confidence will grow. You know, maybe this is like you're trying to do the whole debt snowball thing, right? You're trying to get out of debt. You're trying to reach a certain financial number. You got to start small. You don't just save $1 million all at once. No, you save it $1 at a time. How do you eat the elephant, right? One bite at a time. You're investing in something new. And you're choosing something that is real and sustainable, not flashy, not a distraction, not a 7 of Cups. Those are the temptations for other things that may seem more glamorous, or may seem easier, or may seem more immediately gratifying. You're choosing something real and something sustainable. And you're paying attention to this because it's going to grow, and it may grow quietly. Okay? Your physical world is ready to improve. You need to support that improvement. This is slow, patient action, creating long-term success. Okay, so begin building. This is the start of something real and something lasting for you. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles, success. So this is obviously the success of what you're doing, right? The receiving the benefits of this immediately. And it may be something related to your health and well-being. It may be finances, right? That may have to do with your wealth, your long-term wealth. This card's also about generosity and reciprocity. Okay? So I think that this is a balance. This is a harmony. This is, to me, it feels like maybe a collaboration, that there might be a good opportunity to kind of find other like-minded individuals, you know, find other people that are sort of doing what you're doing in order to keep that inspiration going. Okay. This is the harmony of your resources. Everything is working for you. This is kind of getting into a flow state, having a system down that feels like it's working. Okay. This is, well, it could be the 6 pillars of health. It could be intentional movement, intentional eating, sleep, stress reduction, relationships, and perhaps that sense of purpose. Okay. Everything in your life seems like it's getting more aligned. And this is you realizing that you're bringing value to the table. You're bringing value to the universe. This is kind of like a larger ecosystem that you're part of. And there's giving and receiving. It's kind of like there needs to be that two-way flow. That's why this card is very often about generosity and giving to people. As we start to have more resources, more time, effort, energy, money, or space, we need to share that. We don't covet that. We don't hoard, right? We share our time and space, or our money, or our meals, our food, right? We share our resources with other people because that creates that kind of ecosystem, that network. So just to realize that you're part of something like that, I think for a lot of you, this is really realizing your value in a larger context. Could be a work thing. Okay. Could be kind of a new job, a new routine, a new lifestyle that you're taking on. There are other people there, You're part of something that's greater than just you. I guess that's sort of the message there. Yeah. And this is support that moves both ways. Like you're receiving the support you need. You're receiving the harmony and the generosity from others, and you're also giving that back. So it's a group situation. It's kind of like a potluck. I always look at the 6 of Pentacles as the potluck. Everybody's bringing something. And maybe everybody brings something different, but it's all delicious, And I'm going to have a little bit of the mashed potatoes, and I'm going to give you some of my green bean casserole. And we're all going to have a full plate, And so this could be, like the people at the gym. This could be you in the new job or the new workplace or whatever, right? Maybe it's your group of friends. It's kind of like your tribe, but it feels like you're all working together for a common goal. All right. And that's really wonderful energy. But very plainly, this is the success of what you start here. If you start building this, it's going to work. It's going to be successful for you. It's going to give you what you expected it to give you. Okay? If you start saving money, you're going to have money saved. It's going to be a success. Even though you feel like you're rolling the dice. Kind of feels like you're not sure exactly how it's going to pan out. I like that we have the 6 of Pentacles here and the 6 of Wands here. Okay. Victory and success, like it is going to work. Even though with the 7 is your ability to fight for what you believe in. It's courage. It's perseverance. It's taking a stand, and it's defending your energy. And you may need to defend your priorities when you believe that this is the right path for you, and you believe that this is something good, and it's gonna build up a kind of success or a harmony or a long-term stability in your life. It's kind of like you're expecting to have to justify that to somebody. You're not shrinking away from this path because of somebody else's reaction to it. Okay? And I don't think you're out there trying to convert everybody to your new path, but you're not going to let anybody take away the importance of this for you. You're going to hold your ground, but you're not going to explain, right, excessively. You don't need to justify it to anybody. But it may be that you're kind of expecting there to be pushback. You're expecting there to be resistance. And maybe you're going to be very surprised there will be no resistance. Okay? It could be part of that resistance is coming from inside of you, especially since we're connected with our 7 of Cups over here. It may be that there are other more tempting things. The 7 of Cups is usually a card that masquerades as something beautiful, but it's not. So it's temptations. It's other things that are glittery and shiny. And we might think that's what I want to do. Like that would be more fun and be more immediately gratifying. But this is you defending your choice and saying, no, I can't. It's like, I don't know. You decide that you're going to be on a health a health plan for a while, right? And then this is all the ice cream in the freezer. And you're saying, no, I got to resist that. I got to defend myself against that, very tempting energy that's emanating from my freezer. Yeah. But I think that this is you being strong. You're protecting your resources, time, effort, energy, money, and space. You don't have to prove anything, but you've got to have the discipline to maintain this. And it may be feeling like you're outnumbered or that the odds are against you. I think you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. But you believe in the path, and I think that's enabling you to stand your ground, to be strong. Yeah. There's a moon card just behind you. And the moon is, of course, it's, uncertainty. It's a period of dreamy wonder, and kind of an inner experience. In a way, I think that this is the entertaining of the idea, the lack of clarity that you may have had about whether to start this or maybe how to go about, how to make that transition from this just being like a fantasy or an image in your head to something concrete. Because that's a big step. That's a big step when we actually start doing something for real rather than just sort of imagining what it would be like. Okay? This may be a period of anxiety. This may be a period of not a solar clarity, but perhaps a lunar clarity, right? And it may be that your conscious mind doesn't know exactly what to do or how to do it, or what the path is going to be, or what the process is, or what's going to become of it. But there's something subtle or intuitive about this where you know that this is what you're meant to do. So I feel like you're the hermit entering the dark, scary forest of uncertainty. Now, anything worth doing is going to be scary. But see, this card, while it does imply fear, it really is about our intuition leading us into the unknown. And there in that unknown, we've got to trust the inner compass. That's exactly what the hermit does. That's why the hermit, for me anyway, the hermit's the one that is entering the dark, scary forest. You're taking the night sea journey, if you will. You're at the edge of a dark wood. I think you're about to step into it. Okay. But it's a doorway. It's a black doorway that we cannot see through. The other side of which we have no idea what it is, what it's going to be, how it's going to progress. And I kind of feel like you do, though. I feel like you have a little confidence going on here. Because this card's in the background. I feel like you've already kind of reconciled this. You already understand that your internal spiritual compass is telling you to go forward and start this thing, even if this is something ridiculous, like I just want to drink a glass of water every morning. Realizing that this is the first step toward seriously changing your life. With the moon card, I always feel that you're on the cusp of something. You're at the threshold of something very significant, very powerful in your life. And there is this doorway open. We need to have faith, hope, and trust. We need to have courage because we're stepping into the unknown. Okay. I think this is more than just a glass of water in the morning, but you get the idea. Perhaps it's, the fear or the resistance that kind of tells us it's just one little step. It's not going to really make it. It's not going to matter. Like if I say, well, I'm gonna jog for 20 minutes. Then there's that voice in the back of your head that's saying, jogging for 20 minutes isn't going to make you healthy. You need to jog for days and days and days and weeks and months and years. I need to jog for a year if I want to be healthy. And then we kind of just say, well, I can't jog. I can't jog for a year. I would get tired. I'd get hungry. We tend to talk ourselves out of the small step because it doesn't feel very significant. Okay? But I feel that You understand the significance of what you're doing. The small step is the most important step because they compound. The more small steps we take, eventually it becomes one huge step of success. Yeah. You have a Queen of Wands here, and I think that this is perfect. It's right here above the surface. It is your superpower card. And what this is self-trust. It's personal power. It's your confidence, right? This is you being yourself, stepping into your energy and not really caring what other people think. And you're following your path. You're following your inner light, okay? You have a presence about you right now. I feel like you're somebody with a lot of style too, am I right? Like I feel like you're very expressive, maybe in like your clothes or like the way you talk, or I don't know, just the things that you do or the way you do them feels creative, yeah? It feels like you have a very defined or a very vivid identity. Yeah. I think you have no problem being independent. I feel like you own your presence and you have a glow about you. I feel like this is, in a way, you taking care of your body in some way or your physical form. Of course, with the pentacles, that makes sense. And maybe this is I don't know, maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a side hustle, maybe it's changing careers, maybe this is starting the new health routine or some kind of new habit or something like that. But you are, you're standing tall, yeah. You're a gentle person. I think you're very warm and very inviting. People want to be around you. But you also, like, you don't take no crud from anybody, you know. I feel that people are magnetized toward you. And I think people like your, I don't know, like a leadership kind of energy from you. I feel like you're kind of like what they might call like an alpha person, yeah. But compassionate, yeah, strong, creative, independent. Yeah. And now the Hermit kind of echoes that too, because the Hermit is going into that dark, scary forest and doesn't need a bunch of companions. Sometimes the Hermit is literally just doing something on their own. If nobody wants to do it with me, well, fine, I'll do it on my own. I feel like you are going to find your tribe. You are going to find, like-minded individuals or people that share the same goals. I feel like maybe you're starting some, like you're taking a new class, right? Or you're starting some kind of a new, I don't know, maybe it's martial arts, maybe you're joining a new gym, maybe this is starting a new job, maybe you're entering a new industry or starting the side hustle. I feel like you will find other, people. But the Hermit is following their own inner wisdom. There is solitude here. Okay. There is a need for quiet so that you can hear yourself think. So this is making sure that you're trusting in your own inner compass and not following somebody else's path. You got to follow your own path here. You got to journal more, definitely. Okay. You got to listen to your own intuition more than the external opinions. Don't let yourself be influenced by other people right now. You have to know what your path is and you have to stick to it. Protect your energy from anything that's draining you or trying to knock you off balance. Unnecessary entanglements, draining conversations. The Hermit is very protective of energy, resources, time, effort, energy, money, and space. You got to be protective of that, okay? And this is kind of like we're moving forward on our own path. The Hermit goes off trail. You're doing something that there's no paved road there, okay? And so every step of the way, you're kind of creating the trail. With every step, you're creating the path. Okay? You're living your life your way. This is maybe like your way of life. Making something a way of life that's truly yours. And you're going to find other people on the path too. Sure, there's going to be intersecting paths and all this stuff, but you're doing it because you recognize it as a valuable path, a valuable way of life. Okay? It's a very Taoist card here. And I think you're choosing simplicity. You're choosing independence. And you're trying to avoid distractions or temptations because other paths, other roads that are paved, they seem nicer. Okay? And there's a lot of people on those paths. It seems like they're having a good time. Your path may be a dirt road, and it may not have a lot of people on there. But you're on the frontier of your life. Okay? And that's the moon card. You're entering the frontier. You're at the cutting edge of reality in your life. You're on that frontier. We don't need to know the entire journey at first. We just need to trust our intuition, and we need to start traveling the path. And you'll solve things as you go. Step away from the noise. Okay, the answer, really, the guidance is coming from within. And now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Let me know which card on the path of the dove seems to resonate with you the most. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, but first, I want to do a spirit animal card for you. And you have the white raven spirit. Wow, look at that. Trust in the magic, it says. Okay? Trust in the magic. And that's sort of our moon card as well, right? Because the moon card is that kind of magical realm, right? Where anything's kind of possible, where things don't always make sense. There's not a lot of swords cards here. There's not a lot of, like, logical thinking. You know, we have the Knight of Swords, which is not so much logical thinking, but bold, decisive thinking. That I've decided to do it. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what the plan is? Do you have a map? No, I don't have a map. The hermit knows that there's no map for this journey. There's an inner compass. That's it. There is no map. This is a path for you that requires clarity and decisiveness. Not planning, not forethought, not the detailed step-by-step, turn-by-turn MapQuest directions. Okay? You're moving quickly, but you're staying aware. You're trusting your decisions every step of the way. Okay? You have a very strong idea, and now you're taking that step with that Ace of Pentacles and you're doing it. Maybe this is a new art. Maybe you're starting a new YouTube channel. Maybe you're going to start writing that book. Maybe you're going to try to become you're going to buy an ice cream shop or something. I hope that's what it is. You're trying not to get frustrated when you don't have a clear, detailed picture of the plan. You don't need all the answers, basically, right? You're acting with purpose. Every step is precise, even though we don't have that, that map in front of us. You're moving quickly. Okay? You're somebody who's very direct. I feel like you're a very good communicator. And the knights are always kind of looking at the future, or the knights are like processing the beginning of something, let's say, right? All of the knights, just as really the queens. The queens are processing an ending of something. And I think what the queen is doing is making a very decisive move from the past to the future. Standing at the edge of the dark, scary forest, the Queen of Wands is saying, I'm done just thinking about this or imagining it or dreaming it. I'm ready to start walking the path. Okay? And that's really the decisive energy of the queen, being done with the past. I'm done being scared of this. I'm going to step into it with courage and we're going to go forward. Okay, so I like that. And then, of course, the Knight of Swords, processing the beginning of something. How is it that you begin? Are you someone that that needs to have all the answers and the map and all the turn-by-turn directions and all of the outlines, all of the, material safety data sheets, like everything. No. You say, I got an idea, and I'm going to leap into it. Because you know that every step you take is going to reveal a little bit more of the path. And you'll learn what you need to learn. You'll solve the puzzles, and you'll take another step. You don't need to know all the answers beforehand. That seems ridiculous, And that's the kind of person you are. Seven of Cups in your environment. I think that in some ways this is a motivation for you to make a change. I feel like there's something here in your environment. You have a relationship with something that you're saying it's time to change, This is perhaps an overindulgence in something, or this is like I'm feeling stuck somewhere. Something in life is not what I thought it was going to be. I'm not happy with it. I'm not satisfied with it. I'm not nourished by it. So I got to take a step in this other direction. You're going to start the business. You're going to start the physical fitness routine. You're going to go after the new job. You're going to start building the new thing, whatever it is. Okay? Some of the problems with this card is the illusion that if we're glamorized by our reality or glamorized by our relationships, then we're going to pretend everything's perfect and nothing needs to change. But the Seven of Cups is nice because, at least in the Thoth deck, it shows us what things really are. Okay? The bloom has come off the rose. The scales have fallen from our eyes, and we can see what this is. And now that we see what it is for real, we say, I got to take a step in this positive direction. I got to build something, And the Ace of Pentacles could be the gift of an exit, just as much as it's the ticket to begin something new. Could be the gift of an exit. Well, every exit is an entrance to something else anyway, It depends on how you want to look at it. When we see it with the Seven of Cups, we're thinking, I want to get out of here. I don't want to feel stuck. I don't want to feel like I'm sinking. I don't want to feel like I'm just like treading water in life. Okay, so maybe you're recognizing a financial need, or an emotional need, or a physical need. Yeah. This can be the temptations, though, also, like I said, in the environment, temptations to do something that may seem easier, may seem more fun, may seem more immediately gratifying. But you can see that those things aren't going to nourish you, that this is a long-term deal. This is a path that's going to be bumpy, but it's worth it, So you're recognizing all the things you don't want to do, and you're identifying that one choice that's really going to make the most impact, right, in your life. We don't want too many choices. We don't want to be trapped in the fog of having so many ideas, because this card is about your imagination too. You have such a rich imagination that how am I going to choose what path to do? That everything just feels dreamy, especially in that moon card. There are so many images in your mind. This is where we're kind of taking out the one that's important and we're putting it into concrete action steps. Okay. This is a card that reminds us to check in with our body as well. And this may have a physical thing for you. This Ace of Pentacles may be, that may be what it is. Okay. Not all that glitters is aligned with your soul. You're looking for something that resonates with you internally, and you're taking positive action steps in that direction. You're choosing something that feels true. You're not choosing the thing that just feels exciting or just feels like it would be more fun or easier or more immediately gratifying. No, you recognize that those things are not going to sustain you in the long term. Okay. And I think this is kind of what we're saying no to in a way. Yeah. You have your Eight of Pentacles here, which is absolutely awesome. It's prudence. It's a refinement of your skill. It's discipline. Okay? You're putting your focus into deliberate, slow, patient mastery. We're not trying to go fast. Okay? You're improving, you're taking that Ace of Pentacles, and you know that every step needs to be as perfect as possible, or as quality as possible. It's not about speed. It's about the refinement. It's about the quality. Okay? You're improving your life one step at a time, one day at a time. Your distractions are gone. Your attention is focused. And this detailed work is going to lead to the breakthrough. It's going to lead to that leveling up. It's going to lead to the life that you want, the life you desire, the life you're meant to have. And that's kind of what the nights are all about, right? How this is the energy of how we begin something new. Why are we doing the things we're doing? You know, maybe that's the question that the Knight of Swords is asking. What is the life you're creating? Because the Knights are looking into the future. Who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, down the road. What does my future look like? This is you choosing to create your future, like, deliberately. I get to choose what future I create. Asking that question, what does my future look like, and why does it look like that, and not like something else? Why does it look one way and not the other way? It's all about choices. The court cards, especially the Knights and the Queens, they understand karma. Every thought, word, and deed in the present moment is creating that future. And this is that kind of, this is a Libra power card, right? The adjustment card, higher wisdom and discernment. This is your ability to make good choices now, knowing that it's going to create the future that you want. Okay? And anyway, the Eight of Pentacles here. No distractions. Your detailed work. Okay? Patience, competence, your steady progress, your steady refinement of something is bringing about a lot of confidence. You're becoming skilled at whatever this is. You're getting good at it. Okay? And that feels powerful. Keep refining this. Okay? This craftsmanship, this quality work, this attention to detail is forming your future. This is you sculpting your future step by step, building the pyramid of your life one massive stone block at a time, but you're taking your time and you're cutting those lines perfectly. You know what I mean? And then we end with the Six of Wands, which is victory, recognition, confidence, achievement. Okay? You're being seen here. This is you're doing something that is like you can be proud of. You can stand up tall and you can say, look at this. Look at what I did. Share your progress. Every step of the way, share your progress. Post it online, make a video about it. Tell us here in the Dove and Serpent Tarot community, right? We would love to hear about it. We'd love to support you. If you have a link or a website or a channel or something, put it in the comments. Share your progress. Accept the compliments that people are giving you. Accept the praise. Okay? Use it to help build your confidence and maintain your momentum while ignoring the negativity. Remember the defending your energy and also the hermit wearing the cloak of invisibility. You can miss me with the negativity, but I'll absorb all the positivity. Oh yeah. And trust me, I know about that here. The positive comments that I get here on the channel boost me up. The negative comments, I try not to let them get to me. Some people will say, hey, you talk too much. What am I supposed to do here? Some people, have some negative things to say. And we can take it constructively. And I can say, oh, okay, yeah, maybe the videos are too long. Maybe I need to tighten it up a little bit. Sure. Or we can just completely ignore the negative comments, the negative energy coming in. You got to make yourself immune to that. Okay? Especially if you're stepping up into any kind of a leadership role or any kind of a public sort of persona or, public presence. You've earned some kind of authority through this process. You've got to absorb the positivity and block away the negativity. Okay? Your aura has to be semi-permeable. You got to let in the good stuff and let the good stuff flow out, but block that negativity. Okay? Your confidence is going to inspire other people. I feel like in a way, you're kind of making a name for yourself through whatever this path is. You're staying humble, but you're visible. You're standing tall. You deserve the recognition that you will be receiving. You got to stick with it. Whatever this is, you got to start it today. What is one thing that you can do today to start this? What's the very first step that you can take? Small step. Doesn't have to be a huge investment. You don't have to leap over a tall building in a single bound. You can take one little tiny micro step. Yeah. Tell me what it is. Put it in the comments, okay? Let's look at the mystery card before the video gets way too long with all my talking. If I knew better sign language, I would use that, but I don't, so you have to hear my voice. The mystery card, maybe a 10, a 10 of Pentacles, a 10 of Cups. I feel like we need some more good water energy anyway. I feel like we want our heart to just be overjoyed. We want to feel so good about this path. We want to feel like this path is making us feel better. Right? Simple. Whatever it is, whether it's something at school, at home, at work, it's money, it's your physical fitness. You want the path you're on to make you feel better. Period. And the bottom line, you don't want it to make you feel worse. Anyway, if you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. 5 of Cups. Of course, I walked right into that one. This is that card of disappointment, though. Okay? But this isn't saying that you're going to be disappointed by the path. I think this is really showing that the emotions are going to be flowing, that things are moving now. It's an emotional release. Okay? That we're releasing perhaps this feeling of the 7 of Cups. We're realizing that it is behind us now. And what we need to do is turn and face the love of that 2 of Cups that's sitting right next to us, So I feel like this is also understanding that the path you're on, the path the hermit's walking, is going to be a long, winding road of ups and downs and twists and turns. So there will be moments of sadness. See, the 5 of Cups to me is it's just waves on the ocean, on the beach. A wave comes up on the beach and it washes back out. Another wave comes up and it washes back out. Sometimes that's a wave of disappointment or sadness or sorrow or frustration or just whatever, anger, melancholy, right? Sometimes it's a wave of joy, of jubilation, of delight, of pleasure, of success, And so I think that we have to expect that. It's going to be a roller coaster. There will be days where you feel like, oh, God, this is terrible. But you're going to keep doing it anyway because you know that the long-term result is like a net increase to your life. Okay? And I kind of feel like this card is also you saying goodbye to something. Like for me, this would be like I'm saying goodbye to ice cream. And it's sad. Saying goodbye to that old habit. Saying goodbye to the 7 of Cups. Bye, we had some good times, didn't we? Maybe I'll see you again later in life. And so that could be like we're saying goodbye to something. We're walking away from something because we're choosing to unite ourselves with something that is going to bring more of the good stuff into our life, right? And this could be financial. It could be about friends and relationships. Could be about family. Could be about your career, your work, your creativity. Could be about money. Saying goodbye to those things that we used to spend our money on. Goodbye restaurants. Goodbye all of my magazine subscriptions. I don't know. And hello love. Okay? I feel like this is a very good mystery card. Yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner, and there's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.